Donald Trump declares in Scotland that windmills and immigration are destroying Europe. Today we have a brand new video from his basically holiday that he's coming over to speak to Keir Starmer in Scotland and in England. So this one's going to be crazy, guys. This one was just released yesterday. He was giving a speech outside of his airplane, and apparently he said a lot of really powerful things. So let me know your thoughts on this, and let's see what he says. We have a few other news stories about Ireland today and yesterday, so stay tuned for that. They're crazy news stories as well, so let's hear it.
Stop the windmills, and I mean, there's a couple of things I could say, but on immigration, you better get your act together. You're not going to have Europe anymore. You got to get your act together. And we, as you know, last month we had nobody entering our country. Nobody. Shut it down. And we took out a lot of bad people that got there with Biden. Biden was a total stiff. And what he allowed to happen, but you're allowing it to happen to your countries. And you got to stop this horrible invasion that's happening to Europe. Many countries in Europe. Some people, some leaders have not let it happen. And they're not getting the proper credit they should. I could name them to you right now, but I'm not going to embarrass the other ones. But stop. This immigration is killing Europe. And the other thing, stop the windmills, killing the beauty of your countries. Thank you very much, everybody.
So first of all, okay, he talks about the windmills, guys. Windmills are supposed to give sort of this, climate, this issue. It's supposed to reduce it. It's supposed to help the country bring more electricity for cheaper prices. But we know that's not true, guys. Windmills are expensive to build, expensive to maintain. And then when they rust, and then when they break down, you have to kind of dispose of them, and they dispose of them in a pretty awful way. So all in all, the price that you're paying for them doesn't really solve the environmental crisis that the Democrats and the Liberals say is happening in the world. And also on top of that, guys, they just make the scenery look awful. When you look out into a country and all you see these big windmills, I mean, it's just ugly, guys. It's ugly for the scenery, and it doesn't help the countries or electricity or any sort of climate issues ever, okay? That's kind of been debunked a few years ago. Everybody by now should know that windmills don't help, countries with any sort of climate or any sort of electricity issues that countries have, okay? Second of all, he said immigration is killing European countries. Absolutely. I've been speaking about this for years and years, guys. This sort of unlimited mass immigration of the EU and the UN bringing people into the country, this sort of human trafficking idea that they have the last few years. The population has skyrocketed in Ireland and a few different countries, and it's crazy, guys. It's killing the economy. It's killing the flipping heritage, the culture, and plain and simply, people don't want it, okay? He said, some countries have dealt with immigration very well. I would imagine there's none in like Eastern Europe, Czechoslovakia, Slovakia, Poland, Hungary. These four countries treat immigration very, very well. They don't let anybody in. Even Donald Trump went on to say in the USA last year along the southern border, where there were people just flooding into their country, thousands, millions of people per year, they had 0 people illegal come across the border. I mean, that is an unbelievable statistic. So if anyone can help basically the immigration crisis in Europe, it's Donald J. Trump, plain and simple. So hopefully he gets that done. Hopefully he talks about that with Keir Starmer tomorrow, and that there's big changes, because the immigration thing is just going crazy, guys. It's just illegals and people not speaking English and not helping the economy. It's just horrendous, guys. So the next story we have, okay, is some rat tried to burn down the Black Forge in Dublin, okay? This, for those who don't know, is Conor McGregor's pub, his infamous, famous pub. And, it's been tried to be burnt down many, many times. People set fire to it, have set fire to it many, many times, 3, 4 times. And now, of course, they tried again yesterday. And, jealousy is terrible, guys. In my personal opinion, because he's such a rich, famous superstar, people are just super jealous. This guy came from nothing. He was on the dole, he was on welfare, and now he's one of the richest people, the most famous athlete that's ever lived, and people just can't handle that. They can't handle the jealousy. You know, also Conor McGregor has built hundreds of homes for people, you know, for Irish people. He also goes and visits these like sort of charities, the hospitals of sick children, and he does fundraisers. He does a whole bunch of stuff for the Irish community in Dublin. But people just hate on him because, you know, he slaps the odd person for talking nonsense, talking shite, right? Whereas I think you obviously shouldn't be hitting people, but if people are going to be talking mad shit, guys, you know, it's almost like deserved at the end of the day. You know, nobody's going to feel sorry for that person. But yeah, I mean, I think it's crazy. And I definitely think that the people that are burning down his establishment here, trying to burn it down, they are some woke liberal hippies, guys. You know, they're woke Marxists that hate any sort of, you know, capitalistic ideology or any sort of right-wing ideology, okay? But the person was caught that tried to burn it down. He didn't publicly expose them. I would have loved for him to actually publicly expose them, but he obviously didn't, which is disappointing. But hopefully we get to find out who actually burned down or tried to burn down his place later on, guys. Another story we have here is from Michael Flatley, who has decided to run for president of Ireland. Now, of course, Lord of the Dance thinks that he can relate to the people, but this is all a facade, guys. He lives currently in Monaco, okay? Doesn't live in Ireland, okay? Doesn't want anything to do with Ireland. These people hate Ireland, but as soon as they get a chance to profit off Ireland, they want to live here and try and build a rapport with the people. Now, Monaco is one of the richest places in the whole world, okay? Apart from like Switzerland or something, okay? Monaco is just ridiculous. And he thinks that he can speak to the average person on the street, okay? Because he says that the average person is unhappy with the status quo and they need somebody to speak for them, okay? They need somebody to speak for the Irish people, the hard working of the middle class and the working class. He thinks that he can put himself forward and become the presidential nominee to help save the working class and the middle class. When in reality, it is the biggest load of bollocks, guys. I wouldn't believe anything that Michael Flatley says. These people just want to profit off our country. They don't really live here. They don't care about anything to do with Ireland. It's all a facade. So try and vote for someone more right-leaning. You know, there's a lot of presidential candidates leading up to our presidency, and a lot of them are shy, to be honest. So okay, the last story we have here is a listeria outbreak hits the Happy Pear. An adult dies with rare bacterial infection as ready meals are recalled. This is crazy, guys. For those who know about the Happy Pear, they're two brothers, super rich, super well off. One of the biggest, you know, sort of fast, ready-made meals in the whole country. I love their hummus personally. Their hummus is amazing. But it says, the Food and Safety Authority confirmed an extensive outbreak and a man has died from a rare bacterial infection, Listeria monocytogenes. And due to its possible presence in various prepared meals and side dishes, recalls have been issued from Tesco, SuperValu, Centra and Aldi, as well as producers from The Farm, Good Food locally sourced, Clean Cut Meals, and accounting for just 2% the Happy Pear, which is crazy, guys. You know, to have some sort of like ready-made meals from the Happy Pear recalled is ridiculous because their meals are super expensive. They're also super high quality. You know, their stuff costs like €10 for a ready-made meal, even more. I mean, their stuff is supremely expensive, and their actual Happy Pear restaurant is in Greystones, as you know. Okay, they actually have a Happy Pear restaurant in Greystones, a very rich area of Dublin, very posh part of Dublin. It says, included in a long list of 101 ready-made meal products that are to be recalled, the Happy Pear's veggie lasagna, shepherdless pie, cannelli, chickpea curry, tasty Thai noodles, sticky soy noodles, Mexican bean bowl burrito, and the spinach and mushroom pasta. I mean, crazy, guys. Now, Listeria can include symptoms such mild flu and gastrointestinal. In rare cases, the infection can be severe. And this is what people are worried about, guys. You know, people are dying, and one man actually died from the Listeria. So it's crazy to hear about that, guys. Don't know who he's from. No actual speaking about the guy. Don't know about who the guy is, it says here. But it's just crazy, guys. I mean, it's just crazy. And I always thought, guys, you know, we're spending hundreds and thousands on these ready-made meals, this food from the Happy Pear and all these big kind of like influencers in Dublin. But in reality, the quality is just as shit as anywhere else. You know, their quality is not as good as they're saying it is, because if it was, they wouldn't have to recall all this stuff. So yeah, it's pretty disgusting, guys. I'm not going to shop at the Happy Pear ever again. I think a lot of these different, you know, influencers get away with a lot more than they should deserve, because of their name, of their status. So yeah, hopefully people think twice before actually buying these meals and helping these influencers make money, because we know now the quality is shit. Let me know your thoughts. If you want to support me, guys, drop a comment down below, share the video. Also, subscribe to the channel, and if you guys want to help support me directly, hit the join link underneath the video. Become a member today. We have 12 members, okay? So we're growing massively as a team, as a squad. I love you guys all, and I'll see you all in the next one, man. Peace.